Hello everybody, this is a Lamley showcase. I found myself a pretty cool location outdoors. Was gonna shoot with the background, well, I'll just show you. I was gonna shoot with this kind of background. Lost in Utah as usual, but then deserted train car. And I thought, kind of a cool location. So let's do it. I've got new Boulevard, fresh from Mattel. The next mix, is this mix number 3, I think? Maybe it's mix number 2, I can't remember. Anyway, really cool mix. I always try and think what's gonna go first. I think it's the car that's in the front there. It's the Porsche Carrera RS 2.7. I think that Datsun wagon, because all Datsun wagons go. But there's some good stuff in this mix. So let's get to it. Part 1 of this video will be just me opening these up, showing these on the turntable. Part 2, of course, I've got a car show for you. I don't know where I'm going to film that, but it's definitely not going to be here. And we will, yeah, I got a car show for several of these models because there's some good history with a few of these. So let's get to it. And we will start, I'm not going to go in order because I want to open this one last. So let's just start here with the Myers-Manx. This is definitely, I mean, we know. There's going to be 800 of these hanging on the pegs, which is too bad. It's a very cool casting. This is the second version. First version last year, right? Kind of towards the end of the year. So this one shows up very soon after that last one. So there's quite a few on the pegs still. It's not, I think in the whole scheme of things, it's nice to have a Myers-Manx, but on its own, I don't know how many people get excited about it, but it's a nice little, well, little family. Let me just show you real quick. I'll just show you, there's the back. There's that if you want it. I can't even remember what the last one, but it's kind of cool. KC on it. Let's just open this up. I'll try and do it from the bottom like I always do. Of course, I didn't really plan where I'm going to put these cars once I've opened them. There's that, and here it is. Removable top, not going to worry about that. White rims are cool, but obviously these wheels make no sense. You know, there should be a much fatter tire on a Myers-Manx if you're going to be throwing this through the beach. This thing's going to get beached, if you will, in about 4 seconds. I don't even think it would work in the area right here where I am. There's a lot of dirt. There's a lot of off-roading going out here typically, but this would not be one that I think you would want to take off-road at all. So I'm going to find a spot for this. I guess I can kind of, I don't know, balance it. Don't really want to make these fall. Have a feeling like I'm going to regret that real soon. Actually, I could just do that, I guess, right? There we go. All right, let's go to the next one. We'll just go ahead with the Datsun wagon, Datsun 510 wagon in yellow. This might look familiar to you if you've been around for a while, and of course it is. I'll include this in the car show because this is actually a sequel to the Datsun 510 Coupe that was the, you know, Hot Wheels for a couple years, like 3 years, I think, did display cases. And they put exclusives in. There was a Silverado, there was a Mercedes 190E, and there was a Datsun 510. There might be another one I'm not thinking of. But the Datsun 510 Coupe had this exact design. So I talked to Ron about it, who's doing the designs for Boulevard, and or at least the planning for Boulevard. And he said that, yeah, he wanted to do this exact design to create a little duo. So we'll put those together in the car show. But for now, let's open this up. Datsun 510, last we saw it, BRE, right? In the BRE set. This one's kind of a nice design. I could go all premium Datsun wagons in the car, so I'm not going to do that because I think we've got some other stuff that that's coming. But let's go ahead and not drop this one and get it on the turntable. Looks cool. Really like the design. Black hood, yellow stripe. That full two-tone, I think, it looks like there's kind of a little bit of a chip in mine. I wonder if they'll have some difficulty, like with that black over yellow, because if there is a small little marker, you can see that near the windshield, you're going to see it for sure. Still, it looks fantastic, and I actually like this design with the Watanabe rims. So I think this one, oh, this one's just going to be popular. And it really stands out, too. In terms of the premium designs for the Datsun wagon, I think this one really stands out for sure. So we'll go ahead and put that one right there. Next one, let's go Bugatti. I don't know which one I'm excited the most about. I think it's these two. Definitely the Porsche, because the Porsche is absolutely beautiful. But this black Bugatti Chiron is fantastic. And I think once it's all said and done, this one might be, I really like, I'm not a big supercar guy, but I really like the Chiron casting. An original Rio design. It's been good as a basic, and it's been great as a well, we'll do it in the car show, but its history as a premium hasn't been fantastic per se. But anyway, we'll just put this, I don't know where I can put this, over here. Here it is. We'll do the car show on this, but this thing is awesome because it is jet black. So the headlights look fantastic on this. The taillights look fantastic. There's nothing, no fooling around with stripes that look wrong here, that aren't totally aligned. It's really, really cool in black. You got the chrome lipped wheels, which stand out, but this one, I think the highlight here is how good the taillights and the headlights look and how they stand out here in a jet black premium. This is a really cool choice to do it this way. And I really like the version that was in the 2-pack. I have not liked the other versions in premium. This one we'll talk about in the car show, of course. This one looks great. So there is the Bugatti Chiron. Let's talk about these last two, starting with the 69 Ford Mustang Boss 302. And this might be a first. I don't know if we've ever seen a model as a tribute to a super treasure hunt, but this premium Mustang is a tribute to the Super Treasure Hunt. I don't have them with me here. We'll do it in the car show. You'll see exactly this. But I talked to Ron. He said, I wanted to do this one as a tribute to my favorite Super Treasure Hunt, the 69 Ford Mustang Boss from several years ago. The regular was bright orange. The Super was a burnt orange. But this is the exact design for the Super. We'll show it off in the car show. You'll want to see this. It's kind of cool. And you know, it's funny. Matchbox seems to have done a tribute to this car as well this year, which is kind of hilarious. But we'll get into all of that. But let's get this one open up. The Mustang Boss, and I'll talk about it in the car show. I think my favorite Mustang casting now from Hot Wheels is the Cobra R in RLC. But this one has always been one of my favorites. I would say that's not RLC. This one is my favorite. It's also had a good run in RLC for sure. But anytime this one goes premium, I'm okay on the basic versions, but the premium, and we'll go through this. This will be the extent of the car show. This central point of the car show is this casting, because in premium there's racing history, there's Trans Am, there's vintage racing, there's a ton of cool stuff. And this one, oh my gosh, now that I've opened it, it is great. Love to always see the classic muscle 5-spokes in premium. We don't see them as much as we used to. This looks really good, fully done. Obviously no TH logo, but when we put these together, you'll see how cool that is. So really, really into this casting. We'll kind of put it off to the side here, and let's talk Porsche. This will be the most popular by far. Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7, just released in Hammer Drops in Car Culture. That one was okay in yellow. This thing in black with the red trim, holy cow, it is a beauty. A beauty, like kind of a legend premium. I mean, the Carrera RS 2.7 in black with red trim is a classic. You see it on the road, which you hardly ever do. It would have to be at car shows. It just looks as cool as ever, and it is fantastic in premium as I open it up. Look at this thing. Wheels are great. I love that they did red with the chrome lips. It would be, this is as close to the Fuchs wheel outside of the modern Fuchs that they've done on several. I'm glad they did this one. I think it works. And as far as the family of this Porsche, keep doing them with the Carrera trim, the ducktail, like this casting, just keep doing them in these colors with these color combinations. I know we have the basics in several colors, I think 4, and now we have this one in black with the premium in yellow. Do like 2 or 3 more of these, and we have one of the coolest families of Porsches, I think, in the collection. Do you agree? I mean, this is the star. Hype is hype. Datsuns, JDM, Porsche, whatever. Porsches are always hot. Sometimes we go, oh, they do. This is just great. It's just a model that needed to be done, and it looks fantastic. So there are the 5. Let's get to this car show. If you just wanted to see this portion, you did. And I think it is pretty cool because this location is pretty cool. Let's get to the car show. All right. We'll get pretty much every model in this set represented. It's funny, I'm now back in the backyard to do the car show. That was in Moab a few days ago, actually quite a bit of ways from Moab, but in that area of Utah. Now I'm back in Salt Lake City to do the car show. Been to LA and back, shot some sneak peeks with Mattel. It's been a wild few days, but I wanted to make sure we got with that. This is the one car that won't get represented in the car show, the Myers-Manx. We've already seen it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic as far as Myers-Manx go. Okay, I'm going to rewind. It's great. It's fine. Not my favorite. I don't think it's a lot of people's favorites when it comes to Boulevard, but it's a cool model. It is licensed. It has a lot of history to it. This is the next one. I'll put that right there. That is the Datsun 510 wagon. Mentioned that it is a companion piece. As Ron worked on this, he wanted to make a companion to the display case model that was done, oh, how long ago? It's been a few years. And they are truly exactly the same. As we put the Datsun 510 coupe on it, yellow, maybe the shade of yellow is a little different. A little bit more mustardy on the coupe. Brighter yellow on the Datsun 510 wagon, but the same thing. Yellow model with this black top with a yellow stripe going down the middle. You know, there's been so many of these models. You know, the Datsun 510 wagon and the coupe. Doing these matches is probably, for Hot Wheels collectors, pretty significant. It does feel like we're coming to the end of the 510s. Obviously, we might see some redo, but these two castings, we don't need to see as frequent. You know, and usually I'm like, the more the merrier, but maybe I'll do a video on those castings. They have had a fantastic run, been legendary castings, but they don't excite as much, I think, as they used to. And that's okay. We should be moving on to other things and newer castings, and there's a lot of good stuff coming out, so let's go from there. That is the 510. Bugatti. We could do a small, quick show on the Bugatti. I didn't pull out any of the basics, but I've mentioned that I really do like this black version. We'll put it, actually, let's put it right here for now. That I really like the black version, especially with that red interior. We've had kind of a limited run. And to be honest, I'm very excited that we get this black version, because if we look at the history, it's of the premium. We got this version first. It's actually quite a nice combination, but it's very similar to the version that we saw in basic. Like, I can't remember exactly what the colors were, but it was the one that Rio saw, and then it moved to premium, obviously, this way. The wheels just don't make sense. Now, Hot Wheels, understandably, doesn't have, and they're trying to do, I think, some more modern reel riders that really fit exotics, because they're doing more exotics, but these wheels didn't work. And I can't remember if this is the first version of this casting or not, and the reason I say that is because one of them came in exotics, the first mix of exotics, and the color combination is great, the silver trim is great, the wheels are not, but then they re-released it in a 2-pack. Is it a 2-pack? I think it was a 2-pack. It's exactly the same, exact same color combination, different wheels. They're better. The old 5-spoke, almost the Ferrari Star style wheels in black. Looks better. Still not perfect, but we got those two. And then finally, I think we got a proper. I actually think maybe the 10 spokes would work here. I do like the 5 spokes. They're still not perfect in terms of a replica for a Bugatti. I would imagine they don't have to be. I mean, they're not super deep, these wheels, but they're deep by Bugatti standards, I think. But those lace wheels, those newer lace wheels, I don't think would look right on this. So I think that the 5 spokes are actually the wheels I like the best so far, and we've seen them now twice, right? In sorry for the shadowing here. There we go. Yeah, black, and then silver. I think silver and black. I think those two work really well together. All right. Easy show, because we actually, when we did hammer drops, I went through all of the versions. Here's the Porsche, right? I'll put it, well, no, I'll put it right there. That black and red, that is the release so far of that casting, I think. I really like all the basics outside of that mystery one, but the hammer drops version, we already went through those 4. I think that was just so recent. So you can go back to the hammer drops video, which is not too long ago, and see all of the basic versions, including a yellow one. But the black with red has never been done. I think those wheels work the best they can. Same kind of thing with the Bugatti. They're decent wheels for both of those. They're probably the best option versus the modern Fuchs. You know, maybe we'll do a whole Porsche premium show too. I always have ideas. But the real show I really wanted to do is the Mustang, because this one, while there's quite a few in basic, and we will actually touch on basic briefly, I'm not going to get into all the basic ones. In fact, I don't have all of them. I've gotten rid of most of them. But the 69/70 Mustang 302 Boss, this one has a pretty rich history, or Boss 302. And Ron said this Mustang in orange with the black hood and the black stripes, the black Mustang stripes on the side, is a tribute to his favorite Super Treasure Hunt. So we might as well start there with the Super Treasure Hunt. And you'll see that there are some real similarities. This is his favorite Super Treasure Hunt, and I will say, and I, without trying to go too, it's one of the, I would say, if I were ranking Super Treasure Hunts, this would be up there in the top 10. And I know a lot of people that agree. It's a pretty straightforward Super Treasure Hunt. Now, I guess I'll pull out the basic now. I can put them together here. So there's the Super Treasure Hunt in this burnt orange, and then there's the basic version, which was pretty much a match, right, to the regular. So while it's an homage to his favorite Super Treasure Hunt, it's pretty much an homage to his favorite pairing, right, the regular and the Super. What's funny, and I mentioned this when I was showing the videos, it appears that Matchbox decided to do their own tribute to the Super Treasure Hunt. I would doubt this is what they meant to do, but this is Matchbox's Mustang Boss 302, and it's in burnt orange with those black hood and that stripe. Exactly the same. The casting's slightly different, but look at that. How funny is that? We have a whole family of these Boss 302s spanning two brands. Now, you go back to the premiums, and then we've got some really, really cool stuff. And I'll just focus on the premium. I think I have them all here. The best version of this casting, while I love the Super Treasure Hunt, this is a nice version. Oh no, I didn't pull out the RLCs, by the way. But there's even this, I can even like show you the Salon version. That's the, what, Mexico, I think it's just the Mexico convention. I don't think it went down to Brazil. I think this was just in Mexico, and you have the great colors for the Mexico convention. And yeah, I mean, it'd be fine in Brazil, but that is Mexico through and through, and it looks really, really good. So there's that model that we could put in there, but I'm just going to stay focused on the premiums. The best versions are the first three, because you go historic from vintage racing. This casting was designed for vintage racing by Junimai, and you're getting a proper George Fulmer number 16 Trans Am white. There are Watanabe if they're on a JDM model. I would say they're Trans Am wheels on a vintage racing Trans Am car like this, and Firestone tires. This is just fabulous, fabulous. Different grille, as you can see. I think this would be considered the 69. But like I said, everything is the same except for that little grille change. There's also the Parnelli Jones number 15 as well. Same model, same silhouette, same plastic spoiler, same details, same Trans Am rims, only gray this time. Obviously this is number 15, but the stripes are the same. Parnelli Jones' name is up on the roof, just like the George Fulmer. This is a fabulous pair of models. There's some wind. And honestly, if this casting was never produced again after those two, I'm not complaining because it's fabulous. Vintage racing is just one of the best, and I have some videos coming up on vintage racing here soon. Then George Fulmer returns in the racing series. Vintage racing was already done. Matchbox basically did, or sorry, Hot Wheels did it over 2 years, but they did some racing themed similar after, and then they put this one out, the other George Fulmer in red and black number 16. That becomes, you know, the third, and this one has the different grills. This might be the 1970, and I might have that turned around, but there's a 1969 and a 1970 casting. Essentially the same except for the front grill, but look at that. Now you're like, okay, now you could end after these three, to be honest. And it kind of did. From premium, it just kind of switched off. You saw it in RLC for a little bit, and then it went to basic, and we started seeing some really nice basic versions, including the Super Treasure Hunt. That might be the first time it went to basic. And then we've seen a lot. It's been a nice run. I do have the Falcon in my Falcon collection, but I do like the premiums better. It started kind of bleeding into the other premium lines. So let me move these down. Actually going to move the Porsches over here, and I'll just show you. So first time I think it showed up, and I hope I'm not missing one. Sometimes I do. Try and remember them, and sometimes I forget. Good old Golf, and this is when it's first time it was in the Golf series, the first Golf mix. There's only been one Golf mix, maybe so, but this one's clean, and I think with the chrome rims and the Golf, sometimes it gets overplayed, but I think this one is clean. And when you put it, maybe not with other Golfs, but you put it with these other premium models, now you start, like, it does fit nicely. The number 69 Golf with the actual vintage racing cars, it looks really cool. Of the car culture versions, And I don't remember, I don't have the, maybe the timing is different. Actually, I'll sandwich in between the car culture. There was this version from Fast and Furious. I like the Trans Am rims better, and I know that they're on the new Boulevard, these same 5 spokes, and it is nice to see the 5 spokes on this car, and it does work for like a muscle version, but for like a racing, I really see this as a racing car. They're cool, but I'm going to put that one right over there. And then I guess, I don't know when this one came out. We had this Walmart Zamac mail-in. I don't know when this one came out. I can't remember when this blue and yellow theme and kind of gold theme was part of it, but this one is cool too. Proper rims on it. I think that one is nice. I'll just put that one over here on the show because it looks nice. I have it because it's premium. It doesn't excite me as much as the other ones. And then I think from the car culture Team Transport, we saw the Mustang Boss 302 hit the Ford Racing Team Transport, and I love that one. You get the Boss stripe on the side, you get Ford Race Team nice and clean, you get some decals on the back with the chrome Trans Am wheels, and I think that one looks really, really good itself. So now, bright in the sun, huh? Just like when we were in Moab. That is a nice family of cars. I'm happy with just this collection of premium. I'm happy to have the RLCs and the convention models too. They are cool, for sure. There's the pink one too. I go on and on and on. But ultimately, this is one of my favorite Mustang castings. I think just passed by the Cobra R and RLC. And having especially these 3 vintage racing right in a row are, that's a highlight and a half. You guys tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of this Boulevard set. I like it. I know the Myers-Manx is going to hang. I'm really worried about that one. It's just going to clog the pegs, but that Porsche won't last 5 seconds on the pegs. I think the Bugatti's going to go with it. I think the Datsun's going to go with it. I think this Mustang's going to go pretty fast too. It's a good mix. You guys tell me what you think. Thank you, everybody. I'll shut up. Bye.